Hey everybody, so here I am again caught in the rain on Route 66. Actually, I'm on near Route 66. I am caught in the rain, but I'm not in Conway, Missouri or Tulsa, Oklahoma in a thunderstorm. I'm actually at Cardland in Disneyland. So I'm wearing my Seba Station hat and my Seba Station t-shirt that I got when I was on my Route 66 trip. So anyways, I'm going to show you around a little bit, talk a little bit about some of the sights I saw while I was on the trip. So there was a lot of windmills, and I'll come through Oklahoma. I think they do a really good job here on portraying a small bit of what Route 66 was like as you travel through it. This is a rendition of what you would see like in the 60s and the 60s theme. I didn't see a lot of that on my trip, but you know what was really interesting, and I've discussed before, is that Disneyland opened up in 1955. That was right around the time, post-World War II, the Korean War is just getting over in 1953, and the Americans were doing the family road trip. Route 66 was the primary route, the primary thoroughfare to get people from all over the nation funneling into Disneyland. So ironically, Disney makes the movie Cars, and Cars kind of breathes life back into Route 66 itself. Like I said in my prior videos, there were a lot of people that I met, foreigners that I met, when I asked them why Route 66, and they often said, referred to the movie Cars. Right behind me is the rendition of a Quonset hut, and actually these Quonset huts were sold after World War II as surplus. As bulky and as unbelievable that may sound, I did see a few of the Quonset huts along Route 66. That's a rendition of Sarge's garage from the Cars, the movie Cars. One thing I just wanted to point out too, so behind me you see the backdrop of Radiator Spring Racers, but if you look at the mountain structures, that's actually Cadillac Ranch. Those are Cadillacs that are at like a 45-degree angle impaled in the earth. So those are all the tail fins and stuff paying homage to Cadillac Ranch, and that's the backdrop to Cars Land. Now I did have, I tried to go to as many locations as I could that had to do something with the movie. So this next one is the Cozy Cone Motel. I'm going to come back around this way. So as you see here, the Cozy Cone Motel is in rendition of the two wigwam motels that still exist on Route 66. One in Southern California, not too far from here, not too far from my house. It's in San Bernardino, and that one is on Foothill Boulevard in Southern California. And you have the wigwam there, and then you also have the one that I stayed at, which is in Holbrook, Arizona, and Clifton is the owner of it, and I believe it was his father that originally had built that one that I stayed in. So I did stay in one in Holbrook, Arizona, and what they've done here, and actually both of them kind of have their teepees, so the cones are in reference to what the teepees were. So over here in Cardland and Disneyland, no one's staying in the teepees. And you can see all these videos I'm talking about. So the videos I talked about where I stayed in one of these, but these cones are food services, food vendors. There was something else I was going to show you. We're coming this way. Now another area that I wanted to hit was in Joseph City, Arizona. In Joseph City, Arizona, there's a place called the Here It Is Jackrabbit Trading Post. So in the background here, what you see is a rendition of the Jackrabbit Trading Post, and I did some video there. I did some video at home on some of the things I got at the Jackrabbit Trading Post. So, but usually they have something over here that says, at Disneyland it will say Here It Is, but they repainted it. Let me get that angle. They repainted it to say Trunk or Treat, just for the Halloween theme. Still raining a little bit, but not too bad. You know, there's a little gate here. I'm probably gonna break the law and go over it. So if you look over here, I'm going back to the Cozy Cone. So the Cozy Cone, that neon light says no vacancy, 100% refrigerated air. A lot of them had that, and one of the hotels I stayed at was the Blue Swallow in Tucumcari, New Mexico, and they would have that. No refrigerated air. No, I'm sorry. 100% refrigerated air was on a lot of these older hotels. I try to keep as many people out of my shots as possible, but I wanted to point something out on the difference of the two wigwams. The one in San Bernardino's lobby is somewhat small, but the one in Holbrook, Arizona does look a lot like what this is a rendition of with this overhead. And the one in Holbrook also was a gas station at one time. So this actually would have been the gas station portion where they have gas station pumps right here. And I'll see if I can get close in to the inside. So I don't think I've ever seen this open, but this is what the office in Holbrook looks like. It looks like basically they have postcards. This one kind of looks like an office that would be selling souvenirs, but it's not open. And I'm just going to go around here and show you some of the cozy cones. So once again, if you could just picture these being teepees, and if you want to look it up, and I have videos of it, but I went to the one in Holbrook, Arizona. I went to the one in San Bernardino. They're called Wigwam Motels. They're independently owned. There's only 2 on Route 66, configured very similarly to how these are, where they kind of make a half circle and you park your vehicle in front. If you go into one of my historical videos, you'll see the one that I stayed at, and I do a quick video of that. Oh, I gotta show you. So the Conoco Tower, this is in, okay, so when I was in Shamrock, Texas, it's pretty busy for a rainy day. Okay, so when I was in Shamrock, Texas, right behind me here, this would be the Conoco Tower and the U-Drop Inn. Shamrock, Texas, once again. I spent the night there, and I have some video and some pictures of this with pictures and videos of it at night and during the day. And even at night here at Disneyland or California Adventure or Cars Land, they illuminate that. But I'm gonna do some walk around on that to get a closer look at how it is. And you'll recognize it. So starting here, and it's configured in this L shape at the U-Drop Inn also. So starting here, you see the tower, and there's the one part where the garage would have been, and then it loops around. It comes around here, it looks just like it did in Shamrock, which is really cool for me to see now. So it looped around here, and then you would have the U-Drop Inn would come around this side. Now, of course, this is built to scale to fit in Disneyland, but this is not exactly, but this is pretty close on how they did it. So the inside of theirs is a gift shop, but this is one of my must-see or my must-dos in my Route 66 trip was the U-Drop Inn. U-Drop Inn, also known as the Conoco Tower. So I think I can get a closer look of what I was talking about when I was mentioning the Cadillacs at Cadillac Ranch. Let me see if I can walk around here. Yeah, it's going to be a better shot from this angle. So, okay, so if you look at the backdrop, so what you see here on the mountain scale, the mountain range, here, oh man, I can't, that one, and that, those are a rendition of Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo, Texas. And there's about maybe 12 of them, and they're impaled, and there's a video I have of that. But Disney kind of snuck it in, like people don't recognize it. But if you can look, you can see how those were the backs of Cadillacs with the tail fins and the brake lights and the turn indicator. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them here in retrospect of what Cadillac Ranch was, and that's in Amarillo, Texas. And what's behind me now is Radiator Racer's attraction ride. Now I passed by Flo's, and at the Midpoint Cafe in Adrian, Texas, the inspiration for the person who plays Flo was, well, she wasn't there at the time, but I got a little postcard from her and something signed. But this is called, oh no, this is the V8 Cafe, or Flo's V8 Cafe. But when you go to, there is a cafe there at Midpoint Cafe, but it's nothing that looks like this. They just incorporated her as a person, as a character for the movie. Now there's a lot of towns that will say that, a lot of towns and a lot of people. So behind me, here's what you see now. You see Flo's V8 Cafe. And there is a cafe, there's a Midpoint Cafe in Adrian, Texas. Right next to it is a gift shop, which the person, her name's not Flo, but the person that they modeled her after works there. But the neon light was probably most prevalent for me in what I saw. There was a good neon in Tucumcari, and there was some neon in Shamrock for the U drop in, but they take different portions. The movie took different portions of Route 66 and different cities and different iconic things, and they made it into one set. As far as the background and the topography, if I'm saying that right, the landscaping goes, I would say it's more likely what I saw in New Mexico and parts of Arizona. The Cozy Cone is more what I would see. Like, remember, there's only two, but this one, the way this is designed and with that lobby area is right on to Holbrook's wigwam, not so much the San Bernardino one. The ride here, Luigi's ride here is that Luigi's? Actually, that's just Luigi's ride is the Tower of Tires. That's Luigi's right there. Luigi's ride, there's a tower, it's a leaning tower, it's a water tower, and that eludes me right now. It's also in Texas. But they just took out different parts of iconic things of Route 66, including the people. You can travel from Chicago all the way to Santa Monica and maybe gather up 12 different towns in 8 of the different states that Disney incorporated and blended into one little town of Radiator Springs. There really isn't one single place that Radiator Springs identifies to. It's a bunch of them. It's an eclectic of the most iconic things of Route 66. And people go search these things out. A lot of the must-sees that I saw, or that I committed to, was because of what I either saw in the movie Cars or coming here to Radiator Springs and in California Adventure. The last thing I'm going to do is walk up to this gift shop. Oh, you know what this looks like? Okay, the gift shop behind me now, it says something. Okay, there's a couple of things here. It says Radiator Springs Curios, which there was a curio shop, TP Curios, which is also in Tucumcari, but this looks like it possibly could be the Bob Waldmeyer gift shop I went to, and I can't remember the exact location. It's in Arizona. Wow, and I forgot. See, there's one of the "Here It Is" signs, and I'll move closer to it if we can get a good idea. Getting on to 15 minutes on this video, so I'm going to wrap it up real quick. But the Hackberry, there it is, the Hackberry General Store. So I would say if this was any portrayal, and I don't remember the name of the town, but it's right after you leave Kingman, Arizona on Route 66. You're gonna be following old Route 66, which jumps you off in Seligman. There's a general store called the Hackberry General Store, and I gotta say, if this is going to be any rendition or a facsimile of it, I would say this is the Hackberry General Store, and I can't remember the name of the town. But I'm gonna go in there really quick, but the last thing I'm gonna show you is right here where it says the "Here It Is." The "Here It Is" is in reference to the "Here It Is" Jackrabbit Trading Post, which is in Joseph City, Arizona. All right, so I'm gonna dunk in there real quick, see if I can find anything that I don't have already on Route 66. But thanks for following along. It's been a long time since I punched out a video, but this was my wife's idea actually. And as those of you that know, yeah, I got caught in a couple of rainstorms and thunderstorms. So she said, "Hey, you're back in a rainstorm." Matter of fact, they're right behind me, right there. The umbrella, my daughter in the blue scooter for her torn meniscus, and my other daughter on the right-hand side. So there goes my family. They're photobombing my video. All right, hey, like, subscribe. Don't forget to get out there and ride, enjoy your life. And remember, life's an adventure. Make your journey a good one.